Welcome to welcome everyone to Let Us Farm. So today we are going to be looking at how to make more money from catfish farming. So anyone that is joining us now, remember, if you join us and you have any questions, so you kindly use the comment section to drop your questions so that I can be able to, reply anyone who is on our live. So today, what we are discussing today is how to make more money from catfish farming. In every business you do, your main purpose of doing the business is to make money. Now, everybody wants to do catfish farming, but the issue is that it's not everybody that will make money from catfish farming. And the reason why this happens is that method of doing your farming actually decides what's going to happen to the end of the farming. Now, for you to be able to progress, you have to look for a way for you to do the business to make more money. So I'm going to explain different categories of how you will make more money more than other catfish farmers in any of the catfish profession that you choose. As you know, catfish is not just about fresh fish. Catfish, you have also the smoked fish. Yes, and in the smoked fish, you have the ones that are very dried, and we have the ones that are not very dried. Then we have the ones that are also of barbecue section. So these are all components of catfish farming. When I tell people the catfish farming is very good because it's not just a one-dimensional business, but they don't understand it. So I will be explaining all these things as we go on. Please don't forget, if you have any question whatsoever on the issue of catfish for today, just drop it in the comment section and I will be able to answer you. Any question you have for me, bring it on this live. I will be able to answer you. So, like I said, let's take it off from here. So, now I will start with people that are into fresh fish production. Now, catfish in fresh fish catfish production, you all know catfish we sold by weight. So in fresh fish, if you are doing fresh fish, what you have to do to always be above others is that you make sure you produce quality fish. I dropped this particular comment on my Facebook page, and what most people are asking me is, what do I mean by quality fish? Now, what is quality fish? Quality fresh fish is a situation like if you are told to produce 1 kg, you produce your 1 kg fishes, they don't have deflated neck, the fishes is looking big, looking okay at 1 kg size. Now, if you now want to make additional money, if where you are living, you are asked to do 1 kg, go ahead and produce a target of producing 1.2 kg. I have said this thing before. That's your 0.2 is your own additional profit. What you may not know is that when the buyers want to buy and they see that your fishes are even a little above what they want to buy, it gives them better joy because it means that if those fishes lose weight, they will come to exactly what they are looking for. This is something that nobody will ever tell you because when buyers come to your farm, the first impression they have, they want to give you is that they want to discourage you. If you have been doing this business, you will notice that when buyers come to your farm, they don't always want to encourage you. They want to discourage you. It's a tactics. It's a tactics to buy your fishes. So when they discourage you by telling you, oh, we said we want 1 kg of fish. What you have is only 800 grams, only 900 grams. They've discouraged you. Now, if you wanted to sell the fish 2,000 or 1,008 per kg, and they have talked like this, now they say, this one self, nobody will buy it. They are discouraging you. They will now say, so will you now sell for 1,005? You see, your morale is down. You can't price at this point because they have discouraged you. But if you had fishes of 1.2 kg, remember they said they wanted 1 kg, but you had 1.2 kg, 1.3 kg. Now, when they come, They can't discourage you. They can't even say that you have excess size in weight, because the weight difference is marginal. So they will now stay in the bracket of, okay, how much do you want to sell? Now, this is something that farmers don't know. Because when it now comes to that point, you as the farmer, you are now in charge. And because you are in charge, you decide where that money is coming. But if you are on the other way around and your buyers are in charge, you are in a very big trouble. So this is one way that will let you to be ahead of your buyers when it comes to catfish sales. Then the next option is, I have explained this before, if you are going the other route of smoking. Personally, I don't do smoked fish business. The reason is that there's no much profit in it. People may have told you that if you want to do smoke, very soon you sell. That's not the business. What is in the business is how much you're going to make during sales. And in this thing, there is no, there's no much gain if you are smoking fish. The only way you make money from smoking fish is to smoke, process the fish yourself, and sell. If you have the intention of selling it to a second person to go and do the smoking and sales for you, sorry, you are just wasting your time. For those of you joining now, remember we are talking of how to make much more money in catfish sales. And if you have any questions, drop this question in the comment section. I will pick the question and I will answer the question just as I normally do on my live. So this is how, if you want to do smoking, plan it in a way that if you are doing the smoking fish business, you are going to smoke the fishes yourself and sell. The idea is when you are the one in charge of all the cost of production involved in this process, you are going to make more money. But if you sell it to a second person, one, the prices are going to be bad. Two, you may never make profit in this business. You will just be wasting your time and your energy for someone else. Kings, I appreciate your like. Thank you very much. So this is how it goes. It's like a circle in the business. But if you don't understand it, you keep wasting your time thinking that you are doing business, whereas you are not doing any business. So this is how it works in catfish farm. Now, if you want to do catfish farming, your first target is not to target quantity. Quantity is as you grow in the business. What you have to target in your first is how to target to make the best out of the business. So when you make the best out of the business, that is when quantity comes to now play. That is when you now say, okay, you know what? I've been producing 500. Now let me move to 1,000. But in a situation that you don't do that, you now jump into producing quantity without having what people know you about. That is failure. You are going to fail in the business. And when you fail in the business, there is no way you are going to succeed. Forget about what people come on the net to type. Most of these things are hype. It doesn't work like that. Many people that came in the business with the idea of coming to the business to start producing 100,000 fishes, they failed. The reason why they failed is that what they saw as they entered was not what they were told. That's the truth. Remember, like I said, if you have any question, kindly drop the question. I will pick it up as we go. So that's why they actually failed. But when you come with the mindset that the best thing you have to do is to produce what people are willing to buy, now you have gained the market confidence. Once you gain the market confidence, success is the next thing waiting for you. I don't know if we get this. So now, some people have actually asked that, why do I tell people not to mill their fish? Now, their feed for fish production. Now, if you mill your fish, you may get it right that you look at your fishes, they are growing well. But if you mill your feed, your cost of production for doing that is going to be more than what an outsider produced feed will cost. And I've explained it severally. The reason is that The cost you are using as an individual is going to be more because you bear all the costs, but a company does not bear the same cost with you. And that's the reason why their own feed is going to be cheaper than your own, because they are running on turnover to make ends meet. You are not. I don't know if you get that. But this is the real reason. So that's why I don't encourage people to do their feed, especially when you want to start. And some people want to also hash their fishes. It's good to hash fish, no doubt. But the question is, when you hash your fishes and your intention is to cut the cost of production, remember, your idea of starting catfish business is to make profit. And if you start because you want to cut the cost of production by hashing the fish, I can guarantee you that you have already started making a mistake, which will lead you to nowhere. So it is better, go and source for people that you can trust that are doing this business. They hash, you buy from them. Don't worry, appear like you don't know what you are doing. Do this thing for 3, 4 cycles, then now start planning on how to do your own. Up to today, over 10 years now, I don't hash my fish because there are many challenges involved in these things. But these are what people think, that there are no challenges, that you just go, you hash one fish, one broodstock will give you 20,000 fishes. Yes, they will. But have you ever asked yourself why those guys that hash fishes, most of them are not living like kings today? Have you ever asked yourself that question? If it is that easy, why is that most of them that you know that have been hatching fishes for how many donkey years till today, they are not kings in their various domain? Why? It's not easy. Sometimes you may bring out a production to hatch and nothing will come out of it. This is something that nobody will ever tell you, but it happens. You can hatch a set and you are seeing over 200,000 fishes. And before they get to fingerling, most of them will die. So this leads me to the next thing I want to discuss. I actually did a video on this, but I want to discuss it before you even see the video. Now, most catfish farmers have this problem of fungal infection. So I want to explain to you what is fungal infection and is how it's going to affect what you're doing. Now, fungal infection, as the name goes, is an infection that happens to anything. There's nothing that don't have fungal infection. Even human beings, you can have fungal infection on your bone. Yeah, you can have fungal infection on your bone. But in catfish production, in catfish farming, fungal infection, good evening, Olufemi, fungal infection on your catfish grow out is almost 0% of happening in your farm. Yes. Now, fungal infection actually happens when you hatch your feed. Is as a result of mold that forms underneath the egg that is used in hatching the fishes. Now, when this fungal infection happens during that period, that's the reason why sometimes you hear that somebody hatched fish and within 2 to 3 days, everything that he hatched died. It's because of fungal infection. Now, let me explain to you what I, uh, Udia, I agree to you. I agree to you too. Thank you. So, what actually causes this fungal infection, like I said, is as a result of mold that happens underneath the fish that is hatched. Now, possibility of you having fungal infection in your farm is almost zero. The easiest method to treat fungal infection, because that thing you are seeing that is called fungal infection, is as a result of bad water in the hatchery. So for you to be able to treat this fungal infection, first attempt is to clear off all the water in that pond. Then bring in new water. But this is where it becomes tricky. Some people actually tell me that the pH in their water is very sound. When you ask them to test the pH in the pond, there are two water here. One is if you are using a reservoir and if you are using a pond. So you may go and test the water pH in the reservoir is 6.5. But you now go and test the water pH in the pond is now 8.5. Some people think that there is a mystery behind it. No. What actually happens is that the reservoir and the pond are not the same thing. there is a passageway from the reservoir down to the pond. Any small chemical can actually change the water pH during the transportation of this water from the reservoir to the pond. And this will alter your water pH. So that's why the water in the tank may be good, but the water in the pond may not be good. And you keep having issues because you only test the water in the tank. So when they get to the pond, they give a wrong thing to your fishes. Remember, if you have any instant question, drop it in the comment section. I will pick these questions and I will answer these questions one at a time. So this is what actually causes this. And now that's why when some people will now say, oh, we're having infection, we're having fungal infection in the pond, you now keep spending money, they will tell you to buy this treatment, buy this treatment, buy this. All these treatments will never stop anything. Simply because you are treating the wrong thing. You're not treating the right thing. And the only way to treat the right thing is what I have told you now. Remove all those ones and bring in a clean one. And then you will see your result will change. So this is how it works. Now let's go back to our fishing business. So now, if you want to do smoking fish, like I said, there is money in smoking fish, but the only way you can make money in smoking fish, if you are really serious about catfish farm, is to do the smoking yourself. Because when you sell, please advise Azola for food supplement to reduce feed costs. Okay, now let me answer this question. Someone is asking me I should advise for food supplements to reduce feed cost. Look, I have said this before. I it's not like probably I don't understand that it's feed cost. Every one of us in the country knows that. Yeah, Umobi, good evening. Alexandra, good evening. Now. So every one of us in this country knows that food is very expensive. Yes, food is very, very expensive. Catfish is very, very expensive. But if you believe that there is something you will add to bring down your feed cost in catfish production, please, I'm sorry to disappoint you, is a lie. There's nothing you are going to do. Because one thing is this: when you substitute what you are giving your catfish, you cannot substitute the nutritional value they are supposed to get. So indirectly, they will eat whatever you give them. Azola is good for catfish, they will eat it. But the nutritional value that the feed you're supposed to give will give, Azola cannot. So automatically, it's like you are just wasting your time doing that particular substitution to make your catfish work. This is just the truth. Good evening, Ngozi. What's up? So that's just the truth. So you don't really need to do that because you are trying to look for a way to reduce your feed cost. It's just a pure waste of time. So, in the best bet, if you want to reduce your feed cost, I always admonish that the best thing you have to do is to reduce your quantity stocked. It's only when you reduce your quantity stocked you can be able to reduce your feed cost, because the money you're supposed to use to feed 1,000, use the same money to feed 500. The profit you will make on 500 will be better than the person that wasted money on 1,000 without doing anything. So that's just the truth. Hope, hope is saying we are not having markets in Ghana. Well, the issue of market, I explained this before. Before you stock your catfish, I always advise that you have to, first of all, understand your market. One of the greatest problem that you as a catfish farmer will face is when you produce, you don't have market. Nigerians go say you don't enter. Mhm. For my Ghana listener, I hope you understand that terminology. Nigeria, we go say you don't enter. That is, you don't buy market. That means you've already created the problem for yourself. It's the truth. What happens, like I said at the beginning of this particular life, I said something. I said buyers would always look for a way to bring you down. They will always look for a way to underprice you. And when they are doing this, they will sound as if they are trying to encourage you. No. What the idea is that when they make you to look bad, maybe you have a bad production or you have something that is not what they are looking for. When they bring you down like that, automatically, the prices you want to set for them is going to be low, because at that time you are the mercy of the buyers. This thing is a very, very simple. It looks easy as I said it, but in the reality, it's not easy. Because once the buyers achieve that aim of coming to, first of all, bad mouthing what you want to sell, you are now at their mercy. So if you don't, first of all, go out and find out who you want to sell your fishes for, and you produce, these buyers know that once you produce, the fishes will keep eating. And once they keep eating, yourself, you will be forced to do anything to make sure that they don't die and they don't reduce in size. Therefore, if you were planning before to sell 2,000 per kg, at that point, somebody will just flash you 1.5 on the face. You will follow the person. Even if when somebody comes and says, you know what, please, I don't have money, but I understand what you are going through. Can you just manage 1,002? You are now at their mercy. You now accept the 1,002, you are going down. So what you're going to do is, please, I don't know how your marketing system operates in Ghana, but I know one thing is that Ghana, they have many seafood, sea fish. So for me, what you have to do is to identify people that actually consume the catfishes in Ghana. You may have to go and check maybe the restaurants, maybe restaurants or joints where they do catfish and any other thing. Find out what they buy and find out who is their suppliers. If you can be able to get who is their suppliers, link up with the suppliers to these people, and then you get your market sold. Please, can I ask another question? Go on, ask any question you want. Thank you, Ngozi. I appreciate. Ask any question you want. I'm here for all of us, so no problem. So that's the thing. The first time I started this business, I had to look for these middlemen that supply, not middlemen that sell fish for people. No, those ones, they are another story, because those ones will look for a way to finish you to make profit. So I look for middlemen that do the buying. You know, there are some people that come, they buy from you, they go and resell to the restaurant people. I got those people, and it was from them I started selling my fishes to them. So whatever be the margin, I didn't mind it when I first started. So my aim was to like break even. So by the time some of them started understanding me, I started knowing exactly what I produced. That was when I started having my best of sales till date. So you just have to do it. It's a sacrifice that all of us will do. So what's the cost of fishes not growing from 4 months? They grow well until 3 and okay. Now I will answer this question very okay, because please, I want to ask another question. Please go ahead and ask as many questions as you want. As far as I'm here, I will answer. Because thank you very much. I'm not the best one. I got there. Now he's asking me why fishes don't grow from 4 months, and they were growing well before. So let us look at this. This thing, I like, like me, there's something I used to tell myself. I used to say that I don't deceive myself. And it will be sad that you live in your house, you go and knock on your door and ask who is that. Doesn't make sense, right? Now, the reason you ask this question, if you want to be sincere to yourself, you discover that, if you let me give you an example, you stock 500 fishes at the onset, they were eating 1, 2 bags, 3 bags. Then by the time they get to that 3, 4 months, you are still giving them the same number of bags you are giving them 1 or 2 months, meaning that they are not okay. That's number one. They won't be okay because you are still giving them what you are giving them before. So you don't expect someone who is growing. Imagine what someone who is 17 years old will eat. You are still giving him what he's supposed to be eating when he was 10 years old, the quantity of food. You can't expect the person to grow at the pace he was growing when you were giving him the accurate feed that he was supposed to eat. Because before, when they were much smaller, their feed they were eating was not much. So you were giving them as much as they want to eat. But as they are now growing, their eating ability is now growing. You now start to reduce it. You now start to reduce it. So, how do you want those fishes to now grow at the same rate at which they were growing when you were feeding them? It's not possible. That's number one. Number two is your feed sizes. Recently, when I did the last live I did, so I was trying to explain the feed sizes, and someone asked me that at 3 months, can you feed the fishes with 9 mm? I know this is what most people do. Some people actually think that the whole feed sizes you see in the market, you are supposed to give it to your fishes before you sell it. It's wrong. It's not correct. The whole feed sizes you are seeing is supposed to be given to fishes at a particular time. Just like when you were small, you were using teaspoon to eat. As you were growing big, you are using a bigger spoon to eat. It's same thing with fishes. So when you now decide to flip it the other way, and fishes that are small, you are now giving them big size because you want to give all the before you sell. Automatically, when they are 4 months, you're not giving them 9 mm. You discover that majority of them cannot eat 9 mm because 9 mm is big. So they can't eat it, they can't swallow it, they can't digest it. And once they can't digest it, it means that the feed is not going to work in them. So they won't get the nutritional value from the feed to grow. So automatically, they will not grow. This is number one. So number two, again, like I see the same thing. You overstocked in your pond. So at that particular time, these fishes are struggling to have space to grow. When I talk about overstocking in the pond, it's not like I gain anything when you don't overstock. I don't gain anything. I don't even know where your pond is. But the issue is that when you overstock your pond, now the fish needs a size to grow, right? So if the size is not there for them to grow, how will they grow? They can't. There's going to be limitation. Now, what happens is that if there is this limitation and you are feeding them very well, and some of them are eating and they must grow because they are eating food, law of nature will set in. And what is law of nature? One will leave before one will come. Hey, maybe you've not heard of this, but that's a law of nature. Something will have to leave before something will have to come. That's why you see that people die for people to come. So this is just a law of nature. It's an unwritten law of nature anyway. So now, if this law of nature happens in the pond, because something will have to give way for another to come. So what technically happens that time is that they need to get they need to be big, right? Now you have too much fishes in the pond, right? And you are feeding them very well. So what happens is that these bigger ones, they need more space. Because they need more space, they have more energy. They eat those small ones and they have space and they keep growing. So either you see your fishes disappearing, or when you're not feeding them very well because their eating is springballing, coming to a level that is too much for you, then automatically, because you're not feeding them very well, they can't grow to what you want them to grow. So you see, there's limitation in their growth. So either way, it is what you actually do that actually affects these fishes and make that thing manifest at that particular time. Hope. Thank you very much because I really appreciate. I hope you get that point. If you don't get it, try and reframe the question. I will be able to, answer you. So this one says, what is the best method of drying catfish? Now, there's no particular thing called as best method of drying catfish, and I will explain why. The reason is that everybody has his own style of drying anything. Catfish is not an exception. Um, some people believe that smoke drying is the best, that firewood actually adds different flavor to your catfish. I don't know. I can't say anything on that because someone like me, if I want to eat catfish, all I'm looking at is the end result. I don't really care about the smell and everything. Some people will tell you that when you put the catfish on the plate, first thing that enters their nose is the flavor from the aroma from the wood. I don't know. So be it as it may, we don't have any particular method. You can actually do the oven dry. If your oven is very well, some use gas to dry, but with this current price of gas, I don't know. But some people use gas, some people use electricity to dry. So if you're having constant electricity, like the guy from Ghana, if he's having constant, you can actually use that. If you are in Nigeria and you are in places that are having constant electricity, fine, you can use electricity to do the drying. So all you need to do is to set them up in the oven. Either you add ingredients or not, depending. Some people like to add ingredients to like flavor it up, spice it up. It's fine and good. Then you use the oven to dry it, will come out fine. Then, if you don't have money for all these type of things, you go to the traditional method of drying, which is going back to the market women, consult them. So they will actually use firewood and come and dry it for you in the traditional method. Now, up north in Nigeria, there's a method they use. They build like clay, they build mud. When they build it, what they do is that they put the iron inside this thing, load the fish it on top. They use another clay that they've already prepared to cover the up. What they do when they cover that up, they actually trap the steam from going out. They will use less firewood in it and trap the steam from going out. So all this is they actually dry the fishes. So whatever method you use, once it gives you the result, that's the end result, is for the thing to be very dry, it's okay. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate. So this one said, is it possible to get catfish to breed in Oman? Well, I'm not in Oman. People there can actually, yeah, the Oman, the weather is still normal weather. So you can actually do that. Yes, you can. You can very, very well. The weather in Oman is still very, very okay. The only places that it's not advisable to breed catfishes is a place like Iceland, which have very, very little sunshine. So those kind of places will be difficult for you. The only way you can do it in that place is that it may have to be indoors. They have to use oxygen tank, and a lot of things. Young King, I appreciate the rules. Thank you very much. So you may have to use oxygen tank to put oxygen for them and all those. So it's going to be capital intensive, but I mean, if what you want to do there, depending on what your sales there looks like, which I don't know. So if it favors you, fine, you can do that. So apart from that, Oman, you can actually do it very well there. So I use spot feeding. I notice they don't eat much. The only way you will use spot feeding and your catfish are not eating much is, first of all, how old is your catfishes? If you just stock them today, within the next 1 week, they may not be able to eat much. But don't worry, they will still come around because they are studying you. They are trying to understand what you are doing. Check out the video I uploaded here on YouTube. You see why they will not respond in the first 1 week that you put them. But then again, they will turn around and they will. Now, another reason why when you use spot feeding, your catfishes are not eating well, and your catfishes are not okay. Reason that if the water in their pond is dirty, you will not know. The spot feeding is only showing you what is happening in the farm. That's why it's not that the spot feeding is making them not to eat. No, it's only showing you what you may never know if you are doing the broadcast of your feed. So, and if that is the case, what you have, my advice is instantly change your water. There could be another reason, which is if you have overstocked your pond. Nobody likes to hear that, but I mean that's that's something that affects every almost many catfish farmers, especially the new ones. They overstock. If you have overstocked your pond, no, the catfishes will not eat what they are supposed to eat. So kindly look into it and see what you can do. Where can I get good stock juvenile? Please, what you do is chat me on my WhatsApp. Now, like I said at the beginning of this program, if you're having any issue in your farm, you don't know what to do, then what you simply need to do is send me the video of this problem and I'll help you solve it. My WhatsApp is 081 353 48909. Reason why I'm not putting my number on this live is that there are some certain places I can't just put it. Like if I do that on TikTok, it's going to cause a community issue there, which I don't have time for all this community problem. Then on Facebook and YouTube, my number is always there. So, but in case you are just new now my number is 081 353 48909 WhatsApp. Don't bother calling me. Just send me the WhatsApp message. I will reply you. May not be instantly because I have a lot of people and things I attend to. So 081 353 48909 is the number. So that's it. So when you chat me, we'll be able to discuss further from there. So he said, how many fishes can I stock in 4,000 liter tank? Now, the truth is that I don't necessarily work on liters in the tank. I have explained this. Liters in the tank don't guarantee what you stock. Reason is that some tanks can be narrow, some can be wide, and if I give you an answer for something that is narrow, it's not going to help you. So it's better I am able to see the picture of the tank. Then you tell me what is the size of that tank. I'll be able to like do one and two together and give you a correct answer. Good evening, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Madam Alice. Please, how many fishes can I stock in a tarpaulin of shit? Okay. Water level of 3 feet water level. I thought you were saying 1 kg water level. That would have been bad. So you're saying 3 feet. You say 4 feet pond by 7 feet. Okay. At 3 feet water level. That's a good one. Yeah, but madam, understand that this your pond is a small pond. This pond is a small pond, 4 by 7 by 3 feet water high. It's not that big. So the best result you can do, maximum result you can do here is 50 pieces. 50 pieces here is okay. If it's more than 50, you may experience some of them may die and some may not grow very well. So that's just the truth. So if you can do more, it will be fine. Golden Kids Academy. Like I said, my number is 08135348909. Just chat me and I will be right there with you. What should be the weight of 1 month fish from juvenile to know you're on the right track? This question, I have answered it many times. There is nothing like should be. Catfish is a variable. And because catfish is a variable, there are many parameters that affect variables. Sorry if what I said now may be too, I didn't say it the way you understand it. But what I'm simply saying is that catfish is something which is life. And anything that is growing as life, they don't move like one way, or they don't move like it must be this. No, how they move is that with this, we give you this. So with this, so this is our variables. These things can change. Another example is that if you go to my YouTube page, Let Us Farm, LETUSFARM, Let Us Farm. There is a fish I sold one certain time at I think it's about 9 weeks, 8 to 9 weeks. On that particular set, I got some of my fishes at 800 gram, 900 gram. 1 kg was in that pond. It's a video. You can go there and check the video. I sold that fish with someone that was going to Italy, needed dry fish. Normally, I said it, I don't sell dry fish. So the price they offered me at that time was almost price of what we sell 1 kilo. So it's not a rocket science. So I had to sell it then. Now, when you go there, you see the variables I use, one are what is my pond size. So I make sure that I don't understock. You may go and overstock now. I don't, not that I don't overstock, sorry. I understock in some of the cases, depending on what my target is, but I don't overstock. So you may go and overstock your pond, and if you overstock your pond and I tell you that in your 1 month your fishes are supposed to weigh 500 grams, you may never achieve it. You will now be like, oh, why is this guy telling me things that are not existing? You will not know that the parameters you are using is not same with mine, and it's going to be giving you a negative variable. But what I can assure you is that if you are doing well, your fishes is stock from juvenile at the age of 3.5 months. You are supposed to have some in that pond that will be 1 kg if you are doing the right thing. Now, if you are having one that is 1 kg at that, it simply means that when you stock juvenile after 1 month, you're supposed to be having 200 grams. 200 to 300 grams. So it depends on you. So like I said, everything is variable. It's not a situation that I will tell you something, then you judge with mine, and then your own will not go as planned. So please don't blame me. So that's exactly what you will get if you do that. So let's move on. So like I said, if you want to really make extra money in catfish farm, you have to go extra mile to be ahead of what others are really doing. So, like the examples I gave you, if you are asked by your buyers to stick on 1 kg, please target to stick on 1.2 kg. And let me correct one impression. If you want to sell your fishes and during the time of sales, let's say you have 2 ponds, and I was doing this before. Now, some people don't know the reason why I do it, but I'm going to explain it now. If I want to sell my fishes, though, because me, I have ponds, but when I started doing it, I had 2 ponds. So it gave me an option to do what I was doing. So what I was doing then is if I wanted to sell my fishes, I used to sort my fishes before sale. So what I do is when I sort these fishes, and let's say I want to sell fishes of 1 kg, so I sort every fish that is up to 1.2 kg, I put them in a pond for sale. So anyone that is 900 and below, I don't normally sell them. I put it in the other pond. Now you discover that when buyers come, they also want to buy from that pond. I usually tell them that no, I'm not selling that. So if they insist, I'll tell you, I will still sell it the same price of this one. They will say no, they won't buy it. I say leave it. I left it for a purpose. Reason why these things are done like this is that if you don't do it like that, you are going to short. Let me give you an example. Currently now, some people sell fishes 1.6, 1.8, 2,000. So let's choose the highest number, 2,000. If you are selling 2,000 fish, 2,000 per kilo of fishes that are 1 kg and above, now you now have fish that is 900 gram, and somebody is pricing it for 1,300. Now 900 gram means that it's shorting just 100 gram to be 1 kg, and someone is pricing it 1.3. Meanwhile, 1 kg and above is buying it at the rate of 2,000. If you look at this, there's every possibility that within 1 week you will get the 100 gram. So why should I now lose my money? Young King, thank you very much for the roses. I appreciate. So why should I now lose money because someone wants to buy everything at a time? It's not a very good business indices. You may do it because you actually need money immediately, but I'm telling you, take it to the bank. It's not a very good business index for you because you are losing money. Losing 700 just for something that you could have gained within 1 week is a bad business for me. So Denny, he said I should. My number is 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. So, like I was saying, it's a very bad business indices for you to do that. Please don't do that. In case buyers, because this thing I'm telling you is something that happens every time. When buyers come to your farm, maybe someone wants to buy like 100 kg of fish, and then he now sees some of the fishes that are small. It's not within what he wants to buy. Probably he's buying fishes that are 1 kg and above, and those ones are not up to 1 kg and above. Immediately he just says, are you not selling this one? Let me buy it. Just listen to them. They give you a ridiculous price. Say, come. Instead of you to leave all these ones now, they'll just be eating and wasting your time. Kukuma, give me everything. Let me pay for everything. Please don't do it. Oh. It's a bad business because except there's always an exception, except those ones are runs. How do you know runs? Now, if you are able to stick with good feeding sizes, that is, when your fishes are 1 month, they are eating what they're supposed to do. 2 months, you don't go to jump to give them 12 when they're supposed to be on 3 mm. And then at the point of sales, you have seen these fishes, and then maybe you have fishes that are up to 4 kg or 3 kg, and all of a sudden you spot a fish that is 200 gram. Please, that 200 gram will never grow. Don't even plan to waste your time on it. I'm just telling you the honest truth because you cannot even begin to think it that in a pond where you have, let's say you have 2 kg, or you have 1 point something kg or 1 kg, and you have 200 gram, and you believe that that 200 gram will later rise to 1 kg. Even if they say the bone shall rise again, that particular bone is dead. So don't waste your time on such things. There's no point. Now that's just the truth. There's no point. So what I do to give me, for me to make more money, be on a head start is I actually I actually, okay, Desmond, thank you. I actually use 2 ponds and do the sorting. So when I do the sorting, I stick to my own ground that, look, I'm not selling this. I'm not ready to sell it. So no matter what, people tell you, say, hey, these guys will bring a lot of talk to you. They tell you a lot of things, they tell a lot of stories, but I don't budge. And that is how you're able to make it in the business. If you keep budging to whatever your sellers are demanding from you, I can tell you, you are not going to make anything from this business, because everybody that wants to buy from you is having one intention. They want to buy it very cheap from you and sell it very expensive. Why must you waste that time? Now, so these things are the ways that you can be able to make more money, even doing it the way you are still doing it. You have to be above every other person in your thinking. In any way you are reasoning the business, you have to be ahead. So with that, you are making more money. Other people are just there wondering, what are you really doing? If you have any question, keep it coming and I will always answer. Now, within last week, I got like about 4 different people asked me one simple question. They said they are living in a place that, in a community that they don't have um open drainage to put up their discharge for water to go, and they really want to go into catfish farm, but the compound is theirs. What do they do? Now, simple thing is, your catfish water can still be drained using our normal drainage system. You can actually build a small drain down and channel the water there. But don't plaster that drainage so that all the water that go there will easily dry. Like I told one of them that recently talked to me, I said there's something we do in the West. There is, the normal toilet system that is used in other places is you build four-cornered soccer way and put your waste. But in the West, some places in the West, what we now do is not that. What we now do, yeah, Adeni, thank you very much. So what we now do is we build the ring system. The ring system is just round, but the round like the normal ring that you use for your culvert. Then we put these rings inside. Nothing is plastered. So it now takes a very small distance, but sometimes the rings can be as down as 6 feet below. So you now connect this water there. So anytime you discharge water, direct it to that particular place, it will go down and it will dry, and nobody will find out. But remember, this thing I said is in case you are staying in your compound. But if you are not staying in your compound, you have to look for a way to buy the piping and send it to the nearest gutter so that the water will keep going. Are we clear? If we're clear, let's move on. So now, ways to make this thing in this catfish. Like I said, I'm giving you ways to make your fishes to be very okay. But something that most farmers will always make mistake on is their pond size. Please, if you still want to know how many you can stock, just ask me and I will tell you. Now, when I did a video and I talked about something, I said if you are promised of money, that when you start catfish, they will bring the money. Don't start your catfish with such promises. Start your catfish with what you have at hand. When these promises come, you will expand. Most catfish farmers want to start a catfish. They ask you how many, you tell them, okay, go and start with 50, 100. They say, no, somebody promised them 2 million and they are going to start with 1,000. Somehow along the line, the person will promise you money, never even get am. Your fishes are eating. Then the fishes will no longer be eating. Then these people will come back and ask me, what would they do as food supplement? Like I said, you don't have any feed supplement. BSD, BSF, whatever you call it, it's not a feed supplement. You can actually give it to your catfishes just to support what they are eating, but you cannot use it to substitute your feed. If you do that, your result will be bad. That's just the truth. So these things are not actually that they are total food supplement. No, but they are used to support your feeding, to still give you the result you are looking for, but not that you have to substitute it. So I want to be saying these things so that you will understand it very clearly how it works. So if you don't have the money at hand, please don't say my uncle promised me. You know how the country is. So that promise may die before it gets to you. And unfortunately, your catfishes will keep eating. So this one said, how many fishes can I stock in 8 by 8 by 4 feet high? Okay, let's do our mathematics. Said 8 by 8, 8 by 8 by 4 feet high. Now, if it was me that want to stock in this your pond, but the maximum I can stock here at 3 feet water level is 90 pieces. So if you can agree with me, please don't go more than 90 pieces. 90 is your best to give you result. I talked about 10 feet by 4 by 6 feet by 4 feet. Now, at your 3 feet water level height in the pond of 4 feet, what you can stock there is a maximum of 80 pieces. Please don't go more than that. If you go more than that, all of them may not turn out as it's supposed to be. Yes. So he said, can we use water and wet vegetable farm? Yes, someone has asked me this question, I think last time again. Your catfish, the waste inside your catfish is actually composed of urine, is part of it. And if you know, urine contains a lot because it's part of everything that the catfish have eaten that is converted to the waste that is now coming out through the urine, which has high concentration of ammonia, which the vegetable actually needs very well. So what it simply means is that if you use the water from your catfish for your vegetable farm, it's going to give you very wonderful results. So you can actually use it and you will see a very good result in your farm. So please, if you can convert it, it's very good. Can we use what's this? Can we use live or dried maggot to feed the catfish if she at what age? This is exactly what I just finished talking about just now. If you want to use maggot to feed your catfish, even your catfish that is 1 month, you can use it. But like I said, please don't bring in maggot and forget feed. If you do that, there will be no good results. I'm telling you honestly. It's not about anything. And no, like I always say, I don't have, it's not like I'm selling it to you or I'm selling the feed to you. I'm just telling you what you are going to do for you to see the best of your result. Some people who sell maggot on YouTube here and on Facebook will tell you that if you stop your feed and use maggot, you that maggot is high in protein and everything. It's true. Maggot is high in protein, but it's not only protein that your fishes actually need. And at what age do they need the protein the more? And what is the quantity of maggot you are going to give your fishes that will satisfy them? All these are things you have to consider, meaning that you can't use only maggot. Oh, please don't make mistake and then you think at the end of the day that I misled you. No, you can give them maggot, but if you give them maggot, it's just to support what they are eating, not that that's what will give you the thing that you're looking for. Hello to all you farmers. Hi, Leslie. Let's look at how are you today. Is it possible to use 1 pond to rear catfish from juvenile to steady stage? Yes, of course, you can use 1 pond without sorting. What you do is go to my YouTube page. When you get to the YouTube page, you see type Let Us Farm, subscribe, you get to the page, you will see where they wrote chat, video, and all this is click on video. So when you click on video, go through my videos, you will see the one that they wrote best fish feed. So click on the best fish feed to see what particular feed you are looking for. So in that place, the best fish feed I use there is mainly for people that use 1 pond. I did it that you don't even need to sort. That feed will carry you at that level. Even if you are using double pond, if you are using 2 ponds, let's say at 3 months, you're supposed to be giving your fishes 3 because this is a question that sometimes I do get. If you're using 2 ponds at 3 months, for instance, you're supposed to give your fishes 3 months at 3 months, you're supposed to give them 3 when you sort your fishes at that time, you have these ones that are big, those shooters that are big. What you do is when you sort them, those ones that are bigger than the normal thing they're supposed to be, give them 4 they will eat it very well. But those other ones, still maintain them on 3 you will still get your result. So yes, you can use 1 pond. I was using 1 pond for a long time before I moved to 2 ponds. So yes, you can. Is it MLK just using my personal account? Which one? Which account are you talking about? Oh, okay. How now? Yeah, welcome to our live. Okay, now I get you. Welcome to our live. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us, Luca. So yeah, so you can actually do that, and you will still get Elfrida. Thank you for joining. So you can, and you will actually get the result you are looking for. But the good thing is that make sure you don't jump your feeding. Because like I said, one of the problems that people have is jumping feed. Once you jump feed, you have actually messed up most of your fishes. They will not grow to what you are looking for. Like I said, if you have any question, drop it. I would answer as much as I can on this live streaming. So for those of you who want to send me videos, if you have any problems in the farm, you can send me a video. Send it to 081-353-48909. I will still be able to reply it after this live. So yeah, so that is it. How to get your best result from your sales of your catfishes at any time. Now, there was a day I did one video that I posted. I talked about, during the sale of your fishes, why your catfishes actually die. Some people think that that thing is a joke. It's not a joke. And until you start selling, you understand what I'm saying. When you want to sell your fishes, there are many things that play out that period you are selling your fishes. And these things can actually make you to either grow in this business or you are finished in this business. How? If you are selling and people that are buying the fishes are complaining that your fishes are dying as they are selling, there could be things that will cause it. One, anytime you want to sell your fish, anytime you are ready to sell your fish, please don't allow your fish to come out of the water without being inside water. If you make this single mistake, it's going to cause dehydration on your fishes because they are out of water, so they are going to be dehydrated. And once they are dehydrated, they start dying even before loading them in the bath. Can I start with juvenile on 18 pond? In 18 pond, the perfect size to start is juvenile. It's not advisable to start with fingerlings on 18 pond. Yeah. Juvenile is the best to start with on 18 pond. Or if you want to go above juvenile, post juvenile, jumbo, that's okay. But don't go below juvenile. Sorry. So, like I said, when this thing happens, dehydration happens in your farm. And what happens is that your fishes immediately, if you look at the fishes immediately, when you're bringing out fish from the catfish harvest and you see one or two automatically change color, it's a bad sign. And what happens is that when these fishes are stressed out during the course of dragging them to sell, once they are stressed out, it can happen. And once it happens, once they change color, watch out, your buyers are going to start rejecting the fishes. How do you solve this problem? When you are selling fish, you put a bowl by the side. So as you scoop out the fish from the pond, put it in the bowl, make sure there is water in that bowl. Then make sure that you put these fishes under shade. Try as much as possible to put them under shade. If you don't put these fishes under shade, they're exposed to high sunlight, they are exposed to very low water. There's going to be dehydration, and the high sunlight is going to burn their skin color, and these fishes may start passing out. So please don't do it, because anything you do that, like I said, your fishes may likely be an error to you, may likely be a waste of time. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I appreciate Luca. So this is just the obvious truth. I had a bad experience of this. I never knew about it. So I was harvesting my fish, and when people you are looking at it that, oh, they're going to pay you this money and everything. So you are doing everything. You be telling, bring out this, bring out this. Fishes were brought out, kept in a bowl. We didn't add enough water, and it was under the direct heavy sun. By the time the person that will buy the fish will now weigh the fish for them to put in his own bowl, these fishes were already changing color. I had to emergency start killing those fishes that I will smoke it and sell as smoked fish, because they were changing color and I knew they were going to die. So don't do that mistake. Don't do it. So as you are selling, immediately you are putting it in a bowl, you are adding water, removing it under direct sunshine to preserve your fish, to avoid you losing what you don't expect in your fish. So with that, you know that whatever you get is what you kept. If you don't understand this, please kindly ask me. I will be able to answer. Now, when I started catfishes, there were some other supplements that we actually use in fish. And I will tell you now. But please, whatever I am telling you now doesn't mean that you will substitute it with your feed. No, it's just for you to add to the feed you are using. So that time, there was something I used to do. I used to go to markets where they kill fowl. So when you get to this market where they kill fowl, normally people that kill birds, they don't sell the intestine. So I will book for intestine, but that was when things were good. So that time they were giving me a bucket of intestine for 150 naira. Bucket. Now, if you understand chicken intestine, it contains oil. You know, everything I tell you, I always give you the two sides of the coin. It contains oil, and when this oil hits your pond, is bad, because if it's too much in the pond, you may likely lose part of your fishes. So what I used to do then was, after feeding these catfishes, the next day I always change water just to make sure that I keep them okay. And I don't give them this thing every time. So I actually feed them normal, but I put this thing just to support what they are eating. So you too can go and do it. You can actually look for where they sell this thing, but please be mindful of the dirtiness of this thing. In my own case, then I used to go extra mile. When I bring it, I put it in a bath. I pour water inside this bath and sieve it severally just to reduce the dirty and the oil content that follows it. It's chicken intestine, and fishes like it. So to make this chicken intestine not go to waste, when I want to put it for them, I use scissors to cut it in bits so they are not that long. So anyone that catch it will just eat it once. It's interesting watching your fishes eat, but if you use chicken intestine, oh, fishes, catfishes, they like chicken intestine. But remember, like I said, though, this is not like you are supplementing your feed with chicken intestine. No, you are only giving them the chicken intestine just to boost the food that you are giving to your catfishes. Please, I hope we do understand this. So I was doing it that time and I was seeing the result. Yes, because that thing is even highly proteinous and will support the protein that you are giving your catfish. But remember, they are not the feeds that you are feeding your catfish, they are just to support. So if you do that, you are going to make very, very good results from what you are doing. I am also saying that if you have more questions, drop it so that we can be going on as I talk. So, so that's that. So moving on. So, like I'm saying, one of the best ways to actually reduce your cost of production in the current events in the country is actually to reduce what you are going to stock. It actually reduces your labor cost, it reduces your production cost, and in turn, if you are actually be able to do what you're supposed to do, it increases the profit you are going to make at the end of the cycle that you are doing. Now, sometimes you may hear people say, the my this thing just timed out now, so I'm just trying to put it back. That's my the TikTok. It just timed out. These things they set it that once it gets to a particular 1 hour or so, it will time out. So you have to actually adjust it. So, like we are saying, catfish is a very, very lucrative business. Like I said from the beginning of this live stream, a catfish is one of the primary agricultural products that gives you various ways that you can make money. From catfish, you can decide to you can add to your feeding system. Yes, yes, Luca, thank you very much. You can add that chicken intestine to your feeding system, but not replacing it. I like that. I think that that's a very better decision. King, I appreciate your roses. That's a very better way to put it. You can add chicken intestine to your feeding system, but not replacing your feeding system. It's very good from what he just suggested now, so that people do not go and misquote me. I understand that things are tough, but then again, you can't do the wrong thing and expecting to get the right answer. It's not possible. So, like I was saying at the beginning, catfish is one particular agricultural product that gives you various ways to actually make money from one particular product. You can actually do fish by selling fresh fish. You can actually do by selling dry fish. You can actually get in touch with people that do barbecue fish, and you'll be their supplier. But the problem is that you, as a person, you have to be very strong to be able to connect all these people together to be your customers. If not, you'll be wasting your time. Martin said, is it hygienic to eat dead fish in the pond? It's not hygienic to eat dead fish in the pond. Look, I will be very honest with you here. Some people do eat it. Yeah, some people eat it. But in terms of hygiene, it's not hygienic. And what some other people do is when their fishes die, they actually smoke it and then they eat it. Is it hygienic? No. Do people do it? Yes. Will you want to do it? It's up to you. It's not up to me. Like me, I don't do it. But when fishes die in my pond, my workers will eat it. For me, I have one particular theory. If something is not good for me, doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad for you. Yeah. So it's about choice. It's about, what you want to do. So that's just the truth. So I will not tell you not to do it, but I don't do it. So it's up to you. You get the best from chicken intestine if you go extra mile in cooking the intestine. Well, I don't cook my intestine. You are talking about cooking because probably the quantity you are taking you are talking about is more. Like I said, when I was using kitchen intestine, I used to go to the line where the way we do it here in Nigeria, you see people that do live chicken. So they have lines where it's done in lines. So I go there. Then I'm not talking of now, talking about far back as almost 10 years ago. So I go to the lines, I pay 150 then. So they use this bucket. There's this paint bucket we use for paint here. I think it's about 20-liter paint bucket, white bucket. So I give them that bucket. So anybody that kills, they will throw it inside. So when I come back in the evening, the thing is loaded. So, okay, let me buy your idea and I want to boil it. How do I boil that? Man, come on. It's not, sin is very dirty. That's the truth. It's a very dirty, but those days I was doing a lot to know about the business. I was still at my teaching age in the business. So I was actually experimenting everything. I was ready to do. But if it's now, I cannot do it. I cannot do it. Raw chicken intestine infects the gut of fish. I am telling you now, it wasn't infecting any guts. Forget about that story. What I did then was when I bring it back, I soak it in the water. I leave my tap running. So I wash it so that it doesn't carry any thing from where it was done, and then I cut it with scissors in bits and put it in the pond, and the fishes, they eat it very well. I had never had any fish with any problem of that. But like I said, it's it kind of it's it's very dirty because then I use my car to carry it. If I carry that thing and you step into that car, you will never enter my car again. Because these things, they stay long before I come. So if you understand how these things actually decay very fast, you will understand what I'm saying. So the smell, the odor is, oh God. But I did it. Like I said, like the suggestion, you don't use it to replace your feeding system, it's just to support your feeding system. So that's it. I did it then, but I'm not saying, because of the level I had to do to make it clean, give it to my fishes and the earth. And did I see the result when I was selling? Yes. Am I advocating for people to eat it? No. Am I advocating for people to do it? Your choice. Reason is it's stressful. It's stressful. It's stressful. But then again, I just showed you that it's, instead of using instead of going to buy what do you call it? Instead of going to buy bakery waste, this one is far proteinous than bakery waste because bread is chaff. You giving your fishes bread is like wasting time. It adds nothing to them. Classification of bread is roughages. That bread that is burnt you are giving your fishes is roughages. It gives them nothing. They just eat it for sustainability. It's not going to add anything to them. So, but this one we add. The only thing is that the process of you trying to bring it and give to your fishes, it's a kind of dirty. So, I mean, so it's all your choice. So, like I was saying, catfish, it's a very good business. But then again, for you to be able to do the business and get to the level that you wish to get to, there are some certain things you have to do. As a catfish farmer, the first thing you have to do is that you have to tell yourself that you don't need to be lazy. One of the many reasons why catfish farmers fail is that they are lazy. It's true. No catfish farmer is willing to go out and look for market for their product. Most catfish farmers just want to stock, and then when it's time for sale, they want to sell. It doesn't work like that. If you don't stock well, if you don't manage what you stocked well, and you want to sell, you are going to end up losing everything. One, like if you go to my YouTube page and check, you see how to start catfish farm. One of the first thing you have to do before you start your catfish farm is that you have to go out and find out exactly what people want. That is, find out what do people want about catfish. The reason is that if people in your area actually want fishes of 1 kg, and then because you heard me say that the catfishes that give you more money is the fishes that are very big, because I produce big fishes, and you produce big fishes, you automatically you cannot sell those fishes at that particular place you're producing it. Because why? You have not produced what they want. And like I said, if you find out, one of the first things you find out, what do people actually want in your area? By the time you find out what they want to buy and what the market is all about, this will now change your idea to actually what you want to produce. Because, for instance, if I'm living in a place and I go up around and ask people, go to the people that sell catfishes and everything, and I find out that, yeah, is to formulate your plan. That's how to formulate your plan, is by finding out what do people want to buy. Is when you find out what people want to buy, that's how you formulate your plan. That's what I'm saying now. By the time you've already found out that this is what people want to buy, the first thing what you now do again is to, like I just give you an example. If people in my area for some reasons say that what they actually want, what their demand in catfish is the smoke size fish, which is below 1 kg. Now I will come back to myself. Like I said at the beginning of this program, um below 1 kg fishes doesn't give you any profit. It's little or nothing inside. Now the only way for you to make money from that kind of production is for you to be the one that will run the production from the beginning till the end. You supply to the buyer, or supply to the persons that sells to the buyer, not giving to the third party that will process to the buyer. Once you give to that third party that will process to the buyer, you have brought down your profit. So if people in my area say, look, that we don't want fishes that are 1 kg and above, we want to buy below 1 kg, what me I will do is I will go back to the drawing board and now plan, okay, if I'm going to do this below 1 kg, what do I do to give it value, to be able to make profit from this below 1 kg? This is where people get it wrong. Instead of you to think like that, you already start planning that you will stock 10,000. It's a wrong approach. But when you now think, okay, what do I now do to give it value to produce below 1 kg? That's when you start thinking, know what? Let me go and find out people that actually buy small fish. Get it, find out from them. Or is it that the people that that buy barbecue fish here, they want below 1 kg? Let me find out from them. How many do they buy? Go and sample opinion. When you now sample this opinion, you now get it, you now come back, you now try to think of, wait, do I even have water to do this production? And like I said last time, you must have commercial water. If you are doing catfish and you don't have commercial water, please, you are wasting time. Last week, somebody sent me a video, and when I told the person that the water in this your pond is small, what he told me in response is that you don't have enough water. Come on, you don't have enough water. Where are you doing catfish? I mean, where do you expect the catfishes to stay? If you don't have enough water, please do not do catfish. I'm not discouraging you, but I'm just telling you the truth. Because if you don't have enough water and you do catfish, you are going to end up losing those fishes, because catfishes live all their life inside water. Therefore, you must have water. I'm not saying you must just have small water. You must have excess water for your catfishes to do very well. Minimum water you're supposed to have in your tank is 3 feet water height. I'm not talking of the size of your tank, but the height level of the water from the ground to up is minimum of 3 feet. If you have anything less than that, you are stressing the catfishes. But I mean, it's all up to you. So by the time you now find out that this is what people in this area buy, you find out, okay, I have people that want to do they want to do barbecue, and this they need the same size. And I also have people that want smoked fish, and they see the same size. What you simply need to do is, if you cannot smoke it yourself, it's not a must. It's not a must you start buying equipment when you want to start a business. No, it's not. In accounting, equipment buying are under what we call capital allowance. So if you don't have the capital allowance to run a project, that doesn't mean that your catfish will die. You can actually start it. All you need to do is go back to the same market, go back and meet those old women that sell catfishes, smoked catfishes. Ask them who supplies to them. Meet the supplier and ask that you have fishes to smoke. They will give you the prices of how much they use in the smoking. And then you discuss with them. That is how you set a good business tone. So what you now do is the production that you have, you give it to those people to do the smoking, because the money they are going to charge you will still not be much compared to when someone is coming to buy it at a ridiculous price from you, and they're now going to give it value and sell, you lose everything. Good seed, good water, good feed, give you good result and good management. Good seed, good water, good feed, good result, and good management. The management is going to tie everything together. If not, somebody is wasting his time. Oh. Because in good management, that's what you talk about your pond size. All these things put together can give you result. Can we store rainwater and use for fish? Of course. But like I said, if you want to use rainwater, both stored and unstored, please make sure that where you are storing this water is not contaminated, and where you are getting this rainwater is not contaminated. Like I said the last time, the purest water of the purest water is rainwater, but that doesn't mean the rainwater that has passed through roof. No, the purest rainwater is the one you get direct as it falls. That's the purest water. But when it passes through roof, make sure that it's not a roof that has corrosion on it. If there's corrosion on the roofing sheet, it's going to affect the iron content of your water, which is going to affect what you're going to do. Completely agree, 100% bad management. Yes, without management, you are wasting time. That's correct. So if your rainwater have uh, corrosion due to rust, is going to affect the water you store. And once that water you store has that issue, the iron content of that water is going to have problem. You see your fishes having something like the head will go like that, it's not good. So make sure that the source of getting the rainwater is clean. Once it's clean, forget it. You can use it. It doesn't really calculate. It doesn't really matter. So that's just the truth. You can use it, but make sure that the process of you getting it and storing it is very, very okay. Good evening, brother. Please, how many times is it best for me to feed my catfishes from juvenile? Yeah, this particular question, he said, how many times is it best for me to feed my catfishes from juvenile? Everybody will have his own idea, but like I said, I also have a video on it. It's on my YouTube. I should be on my Facebook. Your catfishes at least 2 times every day, you will get a good result. Some people used to say that when your catfish are juvenile, they are supposed to eat once. I asked why. They say because they are small. I laugh. As a small baby, the small baby, because they are small, you feed them once in a day. And you and I know that it's not possible. So why then is the catfish different? And some people say when the catfishes get to 6 months, 7 months, you feed them once a day. And I ask, does it mean that when somebody gets to 60 years, they start eating once a day? And the answer is no. So why? But let me explain. When your catfishes are in that juvenile stage, please, no matter what, feed them twice per day. If you want to feed them more than twice per day, it's okay. All of them will not eat, but you can feed them as you put the ones that come to eat, they eat. So, what is this? Boss, can river catfish and the regular fish stay together? No, no, please. I'm coming to that. I will explain. So when the fishes are growing older, now they become more lazy, more docile. They stay in one particular place. They don't move as active as they used to do when they are small. So sometimes when you give them food, they just over relax. They just eat once, grab everything, they will relax. That doesn't mean that you don't feed them two times, because the moment you come to feed the second time, some of them will still go and eat. So from fingerlings, juvenile, jumbo to anything until sales, please feed your catfishes twice a day. Feed them as they eat and don't just waste your food. Uh I beg, no look am o, no look am o. Others are looking to another thing, you are looking at another thing. John, no look am o. So he said river catfish and regular catfish, if they can stay together. No, please. The reason why they cannot stay together is that where the river catfish is coming from, you don't even know how it adapted to that place. It's a natural habitat. So there are many things that it can survive in the place, because that was the place of its original birth. So it's now used to those places, can survive most things there. When you introduce it to the pond, which is like a more treated, clean environment and everything like that, now there is every possibility that when it comes, anything it comes with, it will transfer to the ones, to your regular catfish, which cannot withstand that, and the regular catfishes will die. So please don't do that. You know, don't do that. That's the reason why you are in the country and someone, a foreigner, maybe from Europe or anywhere, comes to the country, and before you know, he starts feeling unwell. It's not because um it's not because uh now you get the area. No, because you are already adapted to the system where you are before the introduction of that one. Sometimes they call it herd immunity, something like that, you know, where a group of things, they adapt to a particular situation. But when you introduce the new one, it will die. That's the truth. So just like when the foreigner comes, you start having complications. Now, if you move someone from Nigeria now to Europe, it may be difficult for the person to still go there and readapt. But most times, you from Nigeria can go and adapt there better because of your rugged environment, going to a place that is not as rugged as your weather and everything here. So this just, I don't know. I hope I'm able to explain it. But if you understand what I mean, thank you. If you don't, but that's what I'm just trying to say, that that's the reason why, if you put the two together, very possibility that your regular catfishes are going to die, because these other guys that are natural fishes, they are already adapted to the natural unrealistic situation that they find themselves to a more conducive situation. So you see that for them to change will be easier than the new catfishes. So the new catfishes may now pick up infection from these guys that just came. I just hope I'm able to do that. There are some certain things that I try to explain. You explain. I have no evidence. So that's it. That's it for that. So I said, please, what can I use to treat catfish disease, especially when they are getting white? I just did a video on this now. I don't know, maybe you did not see the video. And this video is on my YouTube, Why Your Catfishes Are White. So if your catfishes are getting white, you don't need to worry about the treatment. There is what we call color pigmentation. That is when your fishes are changing to the color of the environment they are. Most times it happen to people with the biological setup of one area will be the biological setup of one area will be different, but most times, if this biological setup, they are different, but most times the one that is coming from the local source is will be ready to adapt. It's easier to adapt to any other more conducive area than this new catfish, and therefore there is going to be transmission of infection from where they are coming to the new area. That's it. So now he said can I use to treat your catfish? Like I said, what color pigmentation may be as a result of their new environment. So they are just changing, they're adapting to the new color. And like I said in that video, I was explaining that most times you have that on lighter colored ponds. You don't necessarily may see it in black colored pond. No. So that's just the thing. I, I have I have river catfish. What I notice is that they don't come up to eat. They they like moving in clusters and they like feeding in bottom. Okay, let me explain what is happening there. First of all, it's like this. Like, okay, for others that did not see the question, he said he has river catfish, but he noticed that they don't come up to eat. They like moving in clusters and they like feeding from bottom. Please, what should I do for them to come up? Okay. I think I explained this thing when I talked about spot feeding in a video that I have. So no, why they don't come up? If the pond that you have, let's say it's your eating pond, one of the reasons why they don't come up is that catfish itself, naturally, they are bottom feeders. No, catfishes are bottom feeders. Now, the ones that you see that will raise that come up, why they come up is that they were cultured to come up because of it's not a business. So in order for you to the guys that did the culturing, the white guys that did the culturing actually understand that this is not a business. And for you to do your business well, you have to understand the processes that your business is going through. So they want to make sure that they're able to guide this business, to make sure that the catfishes eat very well. And for them to know that the catfishes are eating very well, they need to come up and pick the food. That's the only way. But if they are down, they will not be able to pick the food. So that's why they now culture the catfishes by, making floating feed and for them to come up and eat the food. I'm coming 1 minute. I see people giving catfish duckweed. What does it do for them? Please, duckweed. If someone have come to ask me this question, I will advise you don't waste money in buying duckweed. Duckweed is just like eating vegetable. What is it going to do to you? It gives you vitamin. What's vitamin going to do to you? Gives you mineral oil in the body. That's it. But that's not going to make you to grow taller. It's not going to make you to grow big. It's just like I don't have money for food. I want to give my fishes maintenance ration so that they will be eating and they will not die. That's exactly what duckweed is going to do. But that is not the main feed you're supposed to give your fish. Kindly buy good feed and give your fishes to get the best result. Yeah. So, like I was trying to explain, um, catfishes originally are bottom feeders. So they feed under the water. When you go under the river, you see them. They are down, they are feeding down. They always go to the mud to rest. And like you said, they move in group. So if you now want to culture them, so you have to be using the feed that you put up. They may not necessarily know that you are putting the food. If you have a transparent pond, let's say you have white tank, it will be easier. So when you change the water in the white tank, it's clear. So when you put that food, just put small food. So these catfishes will always notice that you are now putting something up. They are going to come. They are going to one or two would try to come to see what exactly you are putting up. Remember, at this period they are hungry, and when something is hungry, it start looking for what to eat. But if you are using earthen pond, even if you put, they will not. What they will do, they will keep looking for food under. If they don't see food, they will be drinking water and they will be okay. So the best way for you to achieve it is for you to put them like in a white pond, plastic pond, so that when you put any food, they will see it, and there's nothing inside the pond. There's no food inside the pond. So gradually they will be coming up, to like check what is up. What are you always bringing up? So with that, when one eats it, and discover that this thing is a good food, it goes down, they know how they communicate. Next time, if they see your hand movement, they will come up. So gradually, all of them will start coming up to eat. So if you have 18 pond, If you can, try and transfer them to a white pond or a bright pond. So remember, if it's on a tarpaulin pond, there is no extra food there. But if it's in earthen pond, they will always go down the mud to go and cool their body system. So with that, they can stay like that for a very long time. They will not bother about food. Yeah, but they will not grow, but they will not bother about food. But if it's in a tarpaulin pond, there is no place they are going to cool down their body system. So they are now forced to, like, so that's the way that you can do it for you to be able to achieve, making them to come up to eat and then give you the result. I hope you're clear. If you're not clear, please ask me more questions on it so that um I can let you to understand better so that you'll be on the same page with every one of us. So that's that. So what can I use to treat gill rot and other sicknesses in farm? Like I said, catfish. What is the cause of scores on the head of my catfish? Like I said, catfishes are less prone to sicknesses and diseases. Most times that you see people using drugs and all these things, sometimes these things are not necessarily because their catfishes actually are sick. It's guesswork. Now, gill rot. Do you know that your catfish has a gill rot? Most times, what we call gill rot is cannibalism. And what do you think causes cannibalism? Most times, it's overstocking. Catfishes are naturally cannibalistic in nature. So when they see blood, their thinking goes high. They want to go and eat that thing with blood. But then again, if your pond has enough space, the issue of cannibalism is drastically reduced. But if your pond is overstocked, the issue of cannibalism is not reduced, but it's increased. So that's the main thing. But all this rot of a thing, most times it's not even a gill rot, it's not even a fin rot, it's not of any rot, but it's just the mindset that we always have, that there is a rot that is worrying the catfish, and that's the reason why for the treatment. But in reality, it is not. So for this question you asked me now, I'm going to put it down so that I will be able to also explain it, because I have answered this question a ton of time. I've answered about gill rot. I've answered about fin rot. So I'll be able to do this thing on it so that I can be able to explain it further. But the truth is that this is the main thing that causes that problem. If you can be able to look into this, you will solve. But then again, send me a video of what's happening to you in the farm. Probably you're feeding the fish. Do that video and send it to 081 353 48909. 081 353 48901. 909. 081 353 48909. 081 353 48909. Any issues, send it there and I would reply you. So Donka Monica is asking, what is the cause of scores on the head of my catfish? Now, if the scores you are talking about, okay, let me put it down also. Causes of scores in the head of my hard catfish. So if these scores they are talking about is white scores, or you just notice that the catfish are having sores on their head and all those things, mostly the reason why you are seeing it is overstocking. Yes, it's overstocking. When you overstock your pond, your catfishes have limitation of movement. Because they have limitation of movement, they bump into each other. Because they bump into each other, there is friction in the pond. Because there is friction in the pond, you have injuries all over. That's it. There is absolutely nothing else that causes it except what I said now. Now, how do you think you are going to? So, what you are saying, it is actually learned behavior. Yes. what I'm saying about catfish, coming up to eat is a learned behavior. Yes, 100% correct. Catfishes on the natural habitat, they are bottom feeders. They are not up feeders. That is a learned behavior. Just like we culture dog, that if it wants to poo, it has to go out of the house. It's also a learned behavior. Dogs don't know anything. It's what you tell a dog that it obeys. So that is true. It's a learned behavior. It's not a natural thing. No. Catfishes are bottom feeders. So that's just the truth. That's how they do. So they always stay down, they eat down, they rest down. So that's it. So you can actually do the video and send to me, even you, Monica Donka. So you can actually do the same thing and send to me. So the truth is, 100% times that thing happens, it is overstocking. That is the reason. Nothing again. And now you be wondering, okay, what do I do to stop it? Solution. Solution is simple. Look for a second pond or something and then um divide your stock. If you divide it today, in the next 4 5 days, you won't see that thing again. They will heal back. So don't bother about buying any drug to give them to heal. It will heal normally. It will heal. So it will heal and your fishes will be okay. Possibly, if you have another spare pond, sort them out. All those ones that have injury, one place. The ones that are okay, one place. So that there wouldn't be any tear and there will be attack from the ones that are okay to go and eat up the one that have injury. So that's just it. So that's it. So if you have any issue again after this, you can actually send it to me once we come to the end of this so that I will be able to answer you anytime. 081 353 48909. So that is how you settle that problem. What can I use to treat disease, especially when they are? Oh, I've answered that. It's just if color pigmentation of your fish, they will get okay. They will get over it because they are trying to take the color of their new environment. So don't worry about that. You are fine. I believe so. So, do we have further questions? Do you have more questions for me? Because I think I've already exhausted all what we're supposed to do today. Do we have any more questions for me? Do we have more questions? Okay. Oh, thank you. I appreciate. No problem. Just if you have any question, you can ask me and I will get back to you. Or send me a message on my WhatsApp and I will still get back to you. Say, can I give 3 to my 1 month fish? Apple love it. Please don't. Don't give your 1 month fish 3 please. Your if it's 1 month from juvenile, please stay on 2 please. Don't give them 3 Most of them will not eat it and they will not grow well, please. What can I use to treat my catfish if the skin is peeling? Okay. Treatment for skin peel. Yeah, he's asking what can I use to treat my catfish if the skin is peeling? Treatment for skin peel. Okay. First of all, uh, skin peel in your catfish farm is as a result of overstocking. When you overstock, your catfishes will run into each other. There will be injuries. That injury is part of them is the skin peel you're looking at. Now, the easiest way for you to treat it is for you to get another pond and sort the fishes so that you reduce the number that's in that particular pond. That automatically would help you to, reduce the issue of them having problems running into each other. So with that, you see that you'll be in order. So with that, you won't have bother yourself about any other skin peel. If they are having swollen stomach, okay, swollen stomach. Yeah, swollen stomach can mean many things in catfish business. When you see your fishes are having swollen stomach, it can mean a lot of things in catfish business. Now, let me explain this like this. First time is if you notice that the fishes have swollen stomach, and after eating, like you feed them now, in the next 30 minutes, 1 hour, you come, they have swollen stomach. Don't bother yourself. That's as a result of their slow digestive system. So it takes them a little bit time to them to break down the feed molecules and digest it. So that's one. But if you notice is before you feed them that they have swollen stomach. Let's say you feed your fishes by 4 p.m. tonight, there's no issue. And then by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, you come and the fish, the stomach is like this. Most of the times when it's bulging like that, you look at the side, there's something like red colored something, as if you are seeing the inner peel of your fishes. Good. That situation is as a situation of infection of one of the lungs is infected. Now, what will cause this is as a result of water. If the water in the pond is dirty, they are inhaling this water, so they inhale these dirty things, and the thing goes inside and affects the system inside. So that will block their oxygen flow in and out, and that's why you see the belly begin blow. The next thing you want me to say now is the solution, right? Okay. First solution is that when you notice it before feeding, remove that fish that is affected, put it in another smaller pond. The other ones, try and, you know, reduce the number you have in that pond, because you have too much feed in that fish in that pond. So the ammonia concentration they release from their waste is too much. So as they taking it inside, that is what went and affected one of the lungs that is affected, to give you that swollen body because of lack of oxygen going in and out. And you now see something, stomach is just swollen up. So when you remove the one that is affected, others sort them to reduce the number in that particular pond, and make sure you always change your water every 2 days. Others will be fine. I don't want to say, buy this drug, buy this drug. It's not necessary. If you do this thing I said, others will be fine. But if you push, you want to get drugs, well, you can go and look for any, if you get any other antibacterial this thing for fishes. But for me, that's a pure waste of time. Those things aren't gonna work. What I told you now, if you do it, your fishes will be fine. So that's it. So do we have any further question? Do we have any other question before we call it a wrap for today? If you have any question, please kindly drop it before we call it a wrap for today. So, like I said, from the beginning to end of this program, I first of all thank all of you for, thank you very much, Caswald. I want to say thank you sincerely for joining in this live. Like this live stream, it's not an easy thing for me because by this period I'm always busy. But then again, many people say they want to see me live and ask me questions. I don't know why. And for the past 2, 3 weeks that we've been doing the lives like this, I've been getting positive response both from my Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. The response is very very good, and I appreciate all of you for making our time to join in the live. It's not easy, but at the end of the day, we just have to do what we have to do. Thank you so much. So if I answer this question, we may call it a day now. I'm looking forward to next week or anytime. But hopefully, this time next week, I was also try to bring the live. But if you have any question, kindly ask. Good night, good night. Thank you very much. How much will I spend for feeding 2,000 fishes before I sell? Do me a favor, send me a chat on 081 3534 8909. Ekong Udia, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining me. If you want to send me any question, please, you can do that on 081 353 48909. I will respond to you how I am doing now. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you all, and God bless.